Welcome. Today we are looking at KCSE CRE paper 1 2017 or year 2017. Thanks a lot for subscribing. Question 1 state 6 similarities found in both biblical and traditional African views of creation. B. Outline the responsibilities given to human beings by God from the biblical creation stories in Genesis 1 and 2. C. Identify 8 ways in which people in traditional African communities take care of God's creation. 2a. Describe how the Israelites broke the covenant they had made with God at Mount Sinai, as found in Exodus chapter 32 from verse 1 to 30. B. Identify 7 ways in which God demonstrated his love for the Israelites during the Exodus. C. Give 6 lessons Christians learn from the incident in which Israelites broke the covenant at Mount Sinai. Question 3a. State 6 reasons why Samuel was against kingship in Israel. B. Explain the significance of David as an ancestor of Jesus to Christians today. C. State 6 lessons Christians learn from the failures of King Saul. Question 4a. Explain 4 teachings of Prophet Amos on social justice and responsibility in Israel. B. Outline 7 reasons why Prophet Amos condemned idolatry in Israel. C. Give 5 obstacles the church is facing in trying to curb injustice in Kenya today. Question 5a. Describe the personal life of Prophet Jeremiah. B. Explain the circumstances that led the Israelites to be taken to exile in Babylon during the time of Prophet Jeremiah. C. State the relevance of Prophet Jeremiah's suffering to Christians today. Question 6a. Give 7 reasons why pregnancy before marriage is rare in traditional African communities. B. State the importance of bride wealth in traditional African communities. C. Explain the socio-cultural changes that have taken place in traditional African communities in Kenya today. Let us look at the answers. 1a. State 6 similarities found in both biblical and traditional African views on creation. In both, God's work of creation is still ongoing. In both, creation is the work of a supreme being. In both, God provides for his creation. In both, God is the source of life. In both, creation was done in an orderly manner. In both, human beings are at the center of God's creation. In both, human beings are in charge of the creation. In both, human beings obey the Creator. In both, God created male and female. 1b. Outline the responsibilities given to human beings by God from the biblical creation stories in Genesis 1 and 2. Human beings are to till the land. Human beings are in charge of God's creation. Human beings are to conserve the land. Human beings are to obey God's command. Human beings are for procreation. They are to name God's creation. Human beings should help one another. Human beings are to procreate. C. Identify ways in which people in traditional African communities take care of God's creation by providing basic needs for themselves, They build shelters for domestic animals. They show hospitality to strangers. They share their resources with the needy. They conserve vegetation. They have herbal medicine to treat various ailments for both animals and human beings. By preserving habitats for all animals, by observing personal hygiene, by protecting water catchment areas, by practicing good farming methods that protect. Question 2a. Describe how the Israelites broke the covenant they had made with God at Mount Sinai. Is found in Exodus chapter 32 from verse 1 to 30. Moses had called up the mountain to seek God's guidance. Aaron had been left in charge of the people. Moses delayed in returning. Israelites asked Aaron to make them a god that would lead them. Aaron yielded to the demands of the Israelites and made them a golden calf to worship. Aaron built an altar at the foot of the mountain and put the calf there. The people worshipped the calf. God was angered and set to destroy the Israelites. Moses interceded on behalf of the people. When Moses came down from the mountain, he was angry at the people. He broke the stone tablets on which the 10 Commandments were written. Israelites were given a chance to choose between following Yahweh or the golden calf. Those who followed the golden calf were killed. Question 2b. Identify 7 ways in which God demonstrated His love to the Israelites during the Exodus. God made a passage in the Red Sea for the Israelites to cross. He provided them with food, that is manna and quails. He provided them with water. He gave them the 10 Commandments to guide them. God defeated their enemies, for example, the Amalekites. He provided them with a cloud to lead them during the day. He provided them with leaders. God drowned the Egyptian chariots in the Red Sea. He entered into a covenant relationship with them. He forgave them when they broke the covenant. 2c. Give 6 lessons Christians learn from the incident in which Israelites broke the covenant at Mount Sinai. Christians acknowledge that God is more powerful than other gods. Christians should be patient. Christians should be merciful to others. Leaders should take their role seriously. Christians learn that disobedience can result into suffering. They learn that they should worship God alone. Christians should condemn evil. They should exercise self-control. Christians should repent. Christian leaders should intercede for the people. Question 3a. State 6 reasons why Samuel was against kingship in Israel. The demand for a king was seen as rejection of Yahweh as the unseen king. The king would force their sons to serve him as soldiers. The Israelites would be like other nations which did not know God. God would reject them as his people. The king would overtax them. The king would grab their land. The king would make them slaves. The king would introduce forced labor. The king would take their daughters as perfumers. Question 3b. Explain the significance of David as an ancestor of Jesus to Christians today. Through the promises that God made to King David, pointed to the mission of Jesus in the world to save sinners. Through Jesus, a descendant of David, Christians are blessed. Through David, Jesus came to establish a spiritual kingdom. David recognized the divinity of Jesus as Lord. Christians also recognize as Lord. David, as an ancestor of Jesus, established proper worship of God in Israel, which has been emulated by Christians. David, the ancestor of Jesus, made preparations to build a temple for God, which has been realized in the modern places of worship built by Christians. Through David, Christians have been promised a place to settle in heaven. Question 3c. State 6 lessons Christians learn from the failures of King Saul. Christians learn that they should be patient,